She, say hello, everybody. Okay, you'll hear from her later on tonight, but she's over like all the news operations for the Scripps stations. So all of these people are very important for you to know. So I would really take advantage of this opportunity. Now, I know this slide has been hovering up here for a little while. These are just some quick factoids to, if you just at first glance, it could be depressing, but it's not because there are opportunities out there. Just think, in 2009, 293 newspapers folded, 8 magazines that had a million plus circulation went under. Total magazines, about 1,100 went under. Small ones, a lot of small ones too. 10,000 people lost their jobs in radio. Media companies went bankrupt, impacting about 100 TV stations. Of course, that's loss of jobs and all that. A lot of this is driven certainly by, business and how users are using media these days. And a big one is technology. Okay, let's go to Susan. Okay. Hello, Professor Sharp. Can you hear us?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now, all of you know all about Skype, okay? Because you use it. One of the things we're talking about technology that's happening in the industry, particularly the news industry, is that a lot of the video that you may see on the air from overseas and all of that, a lot of it's coming via Skype. You're seeing more and more of that. Some TV stations also, instead of, say, investing another $500,000 or $1 million into a live satellite truck, using this as a supplement, or small stations may use it as exclusively for live shots. So many of you who are in CBE, you're going to be doing your live shots, of course, using Skype, because we don't have a truck, and this is a good way, because this may be the wave of the future here. The better the cameras, the better the shots, and that type of thing. All right, Professor Sharp, you can we'll say goodbye to you, and you can come back in the studio now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, all right, let's get to our panel. We've got a lot of ground to cover in a very short period of time here, but let's get right to the nitty-gritty here. And this is for any of the panelists. Can you compare, say, what the industry was, say, 5-10 years ago to where you think it's going to be 5 years from now?
I think if you ask any of us where we think things are going to be 5 years from now, we would tell you that we have absolutely no idea. I mean, just today, a new device was introduced by Apple, a new tablet device that, if you think about the day before the iPhone, before you had, hold up your iPhone, Nick, where you have a touch screen that can access the World Wide Web from anywhere. 5 years ago, that didn't exist, and so 5 years from now, it'll be very interesting to see how technology evolves, and then how we change to take advantage of that. So I would say probably in the next year, which is about as far of a time horizon as I'm comfortable talking about. Certainly in the newspaper business, what we're going to see is a continued convergence, that just because you work for a newspaper doesn't mean that all you do is write. You will write, you will take still photographs, you will shoot video. That is not an option. And so the distinctions between the forms of content will blur even more. And I think what we're going to see, certainly in the next 12 to 18 months, is an increased emphasis on storytelling in all of its forms.
So if a student comes to you right out of college, and that student has this portfolio of all these wonderful student print, well, new media overall, they have this wonderful portfolio with all these wonderful written stories there, and they said, I can write here. What do you say to them?
That's great. Wonderful. Now, can you shoot video?
Very important. Can you shoot video? Can you shoot video? So, are you telling me that in my portfolio, instead of just writing good stories there, you want to see something else? Do you want to see video? Do you want to see a tape where they've shot video or put some stories together, anything like that?
What would be useful to us is to know that you know how to do that. In the front of the room, Jack Lale is standing there with a flip. It's about a $125 video camera.
Show it to us, Jack. Come on, we want to see it. They can't see it back there.
It's a $125 video camera. What I want reporters to know is how to use a video camera as much as the reporter of 5 or 10 years ago would use a tape recorder, to capture that soundbite, to give us that added clip, that added piece of information that allows us to enhance the presentation of stories on our website, and eventually, if I have anything to do it, on television.
So what other technology changes or opening up doors or changing the industry that they should be aware of?
Well,
Nick?
I mean, aside from the new skill set, the backpack journalism that's happening, that kind of trend, I think the fact that the internet has become a real rich media platform that's open to anyone. You no longer need major media to really get your message out there. As a student, you can start build a real audience before you get your first job, even, and really cover and storytell and have an audience before you are able to get in the door at a TV station or at a real newspaper or any major media. And that's really fundamentally different than anything before that. I mean, the fact that people call it the democratization of media or disintermediation. The fact that people are covering things on the ground before they're actually part of an organization, covering it for that organization. And I assume everyone's taken advantage of that in some way, one way or another, whether it be through social networking or through actually covering your community. But I mean, you'd be insane not to at this point. I mean, the amount of tools out there for free, the barrier to entry is almost nothing. So you should get out there and utilize that. I think that's the biggest change we've seen over the past 10 years. The blog started over the past 10 years. There's no real blog. YouTube 5 years ago really came onto the scene. So over the past 10 years, we've seen a lot of stuff that makes the next 10 years seem almost impossible to predict. I would say, if anything, things will become more centered around mobile as a platform for viewing. I think everyone pretty much is in agreement that that's going to be a very big thing, and I think the tablet today is a really good indication. I guess it's called the iPad, which I think is a little silly. But
how many of you watch video on your iPhones? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm sorry.
how many of you shoot and publish video via your phone or? So
How many of you shoot and
roughly
publish
half.
video?
Facebook counts. Yeah, Facebook, anything that
Facebook,
involves publishing
YouTube.
video.
Okay,
Okay, so
all
now
right, we
it's
got
double.
the hands up now. Okay.
What you think of publishing it.
Yeah, no, when I say, I mean, we use the term publishing. I use the term publishing to refer to anything you put online out in the public.
Now listen to this. This is very important. Okay, publishing is not just printing out a newspaper anymore. Okay. You gonna question? Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right. Thanks for asking. Appreciate it. So remember, publishing is much broader than newspaper. So when you hear professionals talk about publishing, think broad.